Hey guys, welcome back to Wolfwind. I've had my Switch 2 for almost a month now, so let me give you an update on my thoughts on the Switch 2. Is it worth it? And all the news surrounding it currently. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started.
Wolfwind.
So right off the bat, I've had my Switch 2 for a little over a month now. I have a travel case. This is the one from Nintendo. This was a gift from my significant other. This is the Mario Kart World one, and it's a really nice case. It's got a great zipper on it. It's got that nice carrying handle, and it's definitely sturdy enough that it is worth the purchase. Now on the inside here, if you flip it up, you've got your cover, soft so it goes against the screen, and then the spot where you can put your games and your cleaning cloth. It is really nice and it feels secure. The nice thing about this case is if you have a Switch 1 or you're getting this for somebody who has a Switch 1 right now but might be upgrading to a Switch 2, it actually fits both. It's got little foam inserts in case you have an original Switch, and you'd put those in there, and then it just holds the Switch 1 just the same, and it does a really good job. The next thing I would recommend is a screen protector. I am usually extremely careful when it comes to my consoles and taking care of them. Um, and unfortunately, I've already got a small scratch on there. It's not super noticeable and it's not a game changer, but I'm definitely going to go ahead and say this console needs a screen protector. Next, grip cases. I'm a big fan of grip cases. I have a couple for my Steam Deck. I've had one for all the Switches. So let's just talk really quick about dbrand. Dbrand's case was really nice because it added thickness, kind of like the Steam Deck here. It just added, this isn't a dbrand case, by the way, but it added the bumps directly to the back of the Joy-Con, and then you could detach the Joy-Con, and that grip was still on the Joy-Con itself. The problem with that was it closes up a clearance that Nintendo had for a specific reason. Now, if Nintendo had included the Welcome Tour with the console for free, more people would have known this. But the Switch and the Joy-Con have a space, and it goes all the way around. You can almost kind of see it. And what that allows it to do is this allows the Joy-Con to have play without the Joy-Con pushing off of the console body or making contact with the console body. The problem is the dbrand case was wrapping around the Joy-Con, and it would, catch that lip right there, so that way it was holding on properly as it should, and it closed that gap between the Joy-Con and the body of the Switch. So, because the body and the Joy-Con are touching, if you're holding it one-handed to scratch your face or something else, it would detach because that's how leverage works. Now, is everybody going to hold it that way? Absolutely not. And is that going to bug every single person? Absolutely not. But it is a problem right now, and it is something that I think needs to be addressed. As you just saw, I currently don't have a grip on my Switch at all, so you might be thinking, Wolfwind, what are you going to do? Well, right now I'm using the GameSir. I usually use it for my phone. It's the G8 Plus. It wraps around the Switch. You can move the buttons around so that it works. And right now it works, but it's another thing you have to keep charged, have a case for, and you got to have to carry it with you. My long-term solution is the Satisfy grip. I had the original Satisfy grip when the Switch 1 came out, and yeah, it was snug, and the asymmetrical was really, really large, but I have big hands, so I didn't mind it. For me, it was just right. It was a little stretch for those top buttons, but it wasn't a big deal to get X or Y or whatever it is on top. It's X. But they slimmed that down with the next model. The next model also worked with the OLED because that was ever so slightly bigger. And I ended up buying that one for my Switch OLED. And I loved that thing. I didn't have a carrying case that fit it. It was not dockable, and for me, it didn't matter if I was playing handheld, I had my Satisfy grip on it. And it's one of those things where it's so comfortable, you forget that there's a case or another device on it. And that's a huge compliment. So, what I have done is I have actually ordered the Satisfy grip for the Switch 2, the Ronin. There's a Ronin model for the original Switch as well, and what makes this special is it's actually dockable. They are not a sponsor. They are not asking me to say anything. Oh, in matter of fact, one of my Satisfy grips is right here. Matter of fact, woohoo! I like this. It's nice. It's good. It's still asymmetrical, so your thumb fits on it better, but it is just so comfortable in the hand. You know, I like it. And I ordered another one. And this time I ordered one with a case. And it'll come and fit on my Switch 2, and it should still be dockable. Satisfy released a thing saying that the reason they haven't shipped yet is they were waiting until they had real Nintendo Switches, not just mock-up numbers, to be able to ship these things, because something like paint thickness or paint texture could change how the product works, and they wanted to make sure they had a good product. Are they taking advantage of Dbrand's bad luck? Are they just explaining why they're, delaying things because they needed an excuse? I don't know. But it seems to be in earnest, and only time will tell. So as soon as I get that in, I will let you guys know. I think I'm supposed to get mine sometime in September. It is a little bit of a wait, but for Satisfy, it'll be worth it because that's been my favorite grip for the Nintendo Switch. And now it'll be dockable. I don't ever have to take my Switch out of the grip unless I want to detach the Joy-Cons, but that's another thing is they hold the Joy-Con in place. On my original one, my rails on my Switch are extremely tight, and that is because it's always in the grip, and that grip holds them in place so you're not playing on those and pulling on those. DK is coming out here pretty soon. It's the 13th. I think it comes out on the 17th. And it looks like it's made by the same people who made Mario Odyssey. So if that's the case, this is going to be a really good game. Zelda, Donkey Kong, Mario. These are things that sell units. And there are tons of other games with tons of other fans, and I'm not saying those are as good. I'm saying these are the general hey, I'm deep in the gaming world, but I'm a casual. These are the things that get the casual people in, which boosts popularity, and it's going to help with Nintendo Switch. Mario Kart is still a lot of fun. My kids are having a good time with it. They're not getting bored yet. I'm still enjoying it. I'm not getting bored with it yet, but it's Mario Kart. It's the game you pick up second because it's multiplayer, and then there's usually whatever game you pick up first because that's your game to play. I am definitely looking forward to getting some more games for my Switch. If you are a portable user, or a portable person, yeah, we're going to go with that. If you're a portable type person, I have my Steam Deck, I've got my Switch 2, I've got another little handheld device, whatever. I like these devices. I like their pick up and play nature. They fit well with, having kids and an on-the-go lifestyle. Your lunch breaks, get to work a little early, you got 10 minutes before you clock in, whatever the case may be. They're great for that. They're great for making the most of little play sessions, and that is why I enjoy it. If the console's not for you, it's not for you. People are really upset about the price point at $400 or $500, and if you are at all interested in Mario Kart, I suggest the $500. Get the Mario Kart bundle while you still can. People are really upset about that, and I totally understand, and if you don't feel it's worth it, then please don't buy it. But let's also not ruin someone else's fun where they go, hey, you know what? The only time I get to game is when I'm doing it portably. So yeah, for me, that's worth it. I want to get that. Let's not crap on those people who do see the value there. Switch games key cards. This is the last thing I want to talk about really quick, and this is a biggie. Third-party developers are having trouble. So in case you don't know, Nintendo switch to cartridges, only come in a 64 gigabyte size. It's expensive. It's like 15, 17. I've heard something, but it's always a double digit number in the high teens, mid to high teens. And the thing is if you have a $40 or a $50 game and it's 10 gigs, are you going to pay that, $15 to $17? You can't really even afford to eat that cost if you're already like a third party game. You're not the AAA that's going to sell millions. Eating that cost is really going to hurt, and you don't need all that space. So the game key cards came out. In a perfect world, Nintendo would just allow different increments: 10 gigs, 20 gigs, 30 gigs, 50 gigs, whatever, and they would scale in price. But most game developers and studios, they know what the market will bear for the cost of their games, and it's going to hurt them even more if they have to put it on the cartridge and ship it out. And it might not sell, and it might not make enough. On top of that, we see in the industry where games are very samey, games very much follow certain styles, and creativity is lost. And that is just because games are so expensive to develop for now that taking a risky chance on something won't send you back months or years. It could bankrupt you. So we don't see nearly the creativity. Now, luckily, the indie scene has done a great job of bringing creativity back into games. But at the same time, these smaller developers and smaller teams can't afford to put their little 5-10 gigabyte game on a 64 cartridge. It might be an amazing game at $20. But if it's 17 for a cartridge, they're only making $3. That's not going to work. And a lot of companies are deciding to use game key cards. Perfect world, there'd be more options so we could have more physical, because Nintendo does feel like the last console to be a physical collector holdout. And I collect physical, so I get it. Game key cards, if you don't know, you plug it into your system. There's no data on the cart. It just tells the system to go download the game from the eShop when you're connected to the internet. This is better than a code in the box. Code in the box, you use it once, it's done. You can't use it again. This, I can share it with a friend. He can download it and play it. I can sell it, and the next person to buy it can, download it and use it. The way this works is, yes, it proxies a download from the store, but then the card itself works as a key to unlock the game. So once you have the game downloaded, you can't give the game key card to somebody else and then still play the digital version it downloaded. It doesn't work like that. It's kind of the step in between, and it makes sharing digital games easier. I definitely prefer it. It's better than a code in the box, and that's the way you got to look at it. The other way I tend to look at it is many of PlayStation's games have been doing this the whole time. How often do you get a game, you shove it in, and, it's got to download? 3/4 of the game, is digital, or half the game, or a critical day one patch that's like 10 gigs. Okay, I get it. With Sony, it feels more sneaky because you buy the disc and then you find out most of it downloads. It feels like at least Nintendo is being upfront and going, hey, this is really just a download key. I'm letting you know up front. And they're getting hated on for it, and it sucks. Could they make better decisions? Yeah. Could Sony do it too? Yeah. Well, the read speeds from a disc aren't fast enough. Okay, but they're no different than game key cards in that same stance. There's a better solution. I'm not trying to act like there's not. I'm just saying Nintendo's not the only one doing it. Nintendo's just really upfront about it. And those discs that you put in where you've got to download, and you might be like, well, part of the game's on the disc. Can you play it? Can you take that part of the game that's on the disc and play that part without connecting to the internet or downloading any of the other? Just what's on the game? No. In most cases, no, you can't. discs are a lot cheaper, so third parties, they can put the, indie developers, they can put the full game on the disc if that's what they want, and it'll work because it's a simpler game or whatever the case may be. It's not as demanding. And that's where I wish there were smaller file sizes so that way we could get physical games, but it kind of is what we're handed. Still better than having to download everything from the eShop. Let me know your thoughts and feelings on it. Like I said, I would prefer this. I understand where this is in the middle, and it's still a lot better than what's over here. And I think that's what needs to be remembered, is that it could be a lot worse. And I guess you could always say that about everything, but there's just so much negativity surrounding it when they're not the only ones. So I just wanted to take a minute and point that out and talk about that, because I just don't think it gets talked about very much, and it's unfortunate that it doesn't. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. Are you planning on picking up a Switch 2? Are you having trouble finding one in your area? What are your thoughts on Deep Brand's situation, the game key card situation, or anything else we talked in this video? Please leave your opinions in the comments down below. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later.